Historically, they have game planned well for Binky's jiu-jitsu. I wonder how much of that Camacho has been able to absorb in this camp.
Frank the Crank in the black trunks with yellow trim. Binky Jones in the red trunks with blue and white flower trim.
Beautiful right hand counter to the kick. And already I'd like to see Camacho's head movement and footwork. Not too bad. Now Binky is a very adept guard player, automatically has that overhook and working to control posture. Leaving the open guard there for a sufficient opportunity. He will work omoplatas, he will work triangles, has a dynamic guard, also a very accomplished wrestler himself.
Yeah, when you look at these two guys, it's exactly what you said. A perfect test.
He needs to let go here. Oh! That can't feel good.
Incredible power.
Whenever a guy goes up like that, you want to let go. Now, of course, Binky moves to the armbar, but you see Camacho's elbow is past the hips, and he pulls it out. Camacho, interestingly, taking it right to Binky, where Binky is good. And also, it takes some strength to pull up a guy like that, and on your lower back in particular.
Yeah.
Well done by Frank Camacho.
There's a very select amount of fighters who can do that. You know, that Rampage Arona type slam from that angle.
Somebody's bleeding, too. You see right underneath the chin of Binky, there's some blood. Lloyd Irvin says that, and I think he's right, Camacho is the nicest guy, but apparently, like all fighters, a switch gets flicked, but the contrast is so alarming that he noted it. He said the guy, it's a completely different people. And now, as you can see, Camacho with a knee cut across pass, and he had the right overhook. Fantastic jiu-jitsu work. But Binky properly gets back half guard. You see that blood there on the left arm of Camacho. I'm still not certain what it's from.
Maybe a previous injury to the hand, the left hand or wrist of the Crank. And, you know, maybe it got during that slam, it got ripped open.
You're seeing it every time now. He's looking for that knee cut across pass to the left, to Binky's right side, and as he does that, Binky is posturing up to hold him, and he's using it to push the knee aside. Binky working wrist control here.
If you just tuned in, you're watching Capital Punishment from Washington, D.C. Jay Adams alongside Luke Thomas. Glad you joined us. This is a very exciting card, folks. Definitely stay tuned. Got a lot of action just like this one in this 155-pound fight. Tough to tell where that blood's coming from. Now you got me curious.
It's not clear. It doesn't seem to be coming from the brow. You thought maybe that there had been a cut on that slam, but I can't see anything coming off the brow of Frank Camacho. But you're right, that left wrist. I don't know if it's underneath the throat of Binky. There's not enough. It's hard to tell exactly where that's coming from. Binky doing an okay job of controlling the posture of Camacho, but not really doing a whole lot of offensive work off of his back. You saw before he had an open guard, now a closed guard. When he opens it again, get his hips out, and a bit of a cartwheel pass over the top by Camacho. I told you, for a blue belt, very, very tight. I'll tell you, Lloyd Irvin is not going to give you a blue belt unless you absolutely earn it.
There's more blood now as Camacho has Binky stand up.
And Camacho mixing it up early. The first half of the round on top, battering Binky now back to the feet. Looking for that double jab to come inside, and now he gets Camacho with almost the same counter that Camacho landed earlier. Binky with a nice outside trip and then immediately works the half. There is no guillotine there. He's simply holding him. But again, you see Lloyd Irvin in the corner there of Camacho. Camacho looks very composed. Doesn't look like he's very tired. Although he's breathing a little heavy, but seems to be doing okay thus far.
Great composure there by the 19-year-old to look over to Master Lloyd Irvin and get instructions.
Binky wants to win this round. He needs to get out of this position and work for the pass immediately. In fact, if he can achieve mount, he can probably get it. But brilliant takedown defense by Camacho, getting his hips out and up, and Binky missed the knee on the way up. Camacho looking at the clock. That's not the best sign in the world.
Binky's going to need to let his hands go if he's going to steal this round.
Looking for the Kimura. Binky Jones has a very, very good Kimura. He's going to use it to roll him here and get on top. He might transition to the armbar.
Boy, he's sticking to that like a pit bull, isn't he?
Binky Jones has a very good Kimura. But excellent takedown defense, although he's opening himself here with the triangle, but now works the pass. And of course, Team Lloyd Irvin is very good at doing what's called three-point pressure technique. where you make the guy carry your weight underneath, and the 3 points, he's not doing it right now, but he did when he first got over. Your feet are basically on the ground and you're chest to chest, and that way it not only keeps your opponent pinned down, but they carry your weight, makes it hard to breathe. It's extremely annoying when you're grappling.
End of round one. A very exciting start to this fight.
And again, I think weight is playing a factor here. It's going to make him a little bit stronger, a little bit, the base a little bit harder to maneuver if you're Binky Jones. I really think it's going to have a big impact in this bout.
And these are two stand-up guys. You saw that real nice hand tag there at the beginning of round two.
Now right here it looks pretty clear to me that Camacho's looking for the takedown. He's throwing no jab. He does throw some counter shots there, but he stood tall in the pocket, and he's closing the distance. It doesn't look like to me he wants to strike for very long, but we'll see.
Binky Jones does list boxing as his stand-up discipline.
Now Binky shoots for the single. He probably is going to transition to a double or use it to trip and just dumps him over. Now, Crank trying to get his hips up from underneath, but Binky does a good job, passes over the right side, and amazing for Crank to get his hips out from underneath and turn over while getting his right hand straight. Binky, left hand straight.
Looks like Binky's trying to employ your strategy of wearing down the Crank. And perhaps he saw that the Crank was breathing through his mouth at the end of round one, and so he's going for the takedowns and realizing that the gas tank might be his best strategy.
Maybe. It's hard to tell exactly what Binky sees in there. But to me, going for takedowns like that, if he continues to do it, even though their trips off the single are still very taxing on the body.
And I think we got the answer to the blood issue in between rounds. I believe it is a cut over the right eye of Camacho. Yeah, I think that's when they put the end swell on there. It actually took care of the cut, but we'll see if that gets reopened.
Binky keeping his hands down when he throws the round kick to the legs. Got to keep that hand up. The counter, whatever side they kick on, you throw the opposite straight.
Oh, big right. It's over. It is over. Big right. And they had to put Camacho off. Wow. The big right hand at 1:36 of round two. The Crank Camacho taking Binky Jones out.
A timed right hand on the left from Binky, I believe. I want to see the tape again. But fantastic power, put it right on his chin. Binky had his hands down. That lead hand was low. He wasn't working the jab effectively. And Camacho made him pay.
Frank the Crank Camacho knew how big this fight was for him. He knew how many eyes were upon him. He knew that Binky Jones was a serious test. And here it is.
That was just the right. Binky is clearly out. Excellent stoppage by Fernando Yamasaki. Binky was done. Let's see this again. See, look at Binky's left hand, throws the jab, lazy jab, doesn't retreat it properly at all, and Camacho makes him pay with fantastic timing and brutal knockout power.